Some know, some don't know. Devotees, of course, know. But those who are not devotees don't know. So anything is attracting us, we should understand. This ultimately, whose opulence?
Krishna.
Krishna's opulence. So it is Krishna's opulence which is attracting me. Very simple. And then Prabhupada said how when Lord descends, Lord's associates also descend. But then there is a difference. What is the difference?
Empowers the associates.
Two. One more difference is there.
Oh, Lord remembers the associates.
So Krishna told to Arjuna that, my dear Arjuna, both of us appeared many, many times. When I spoke to son called Vivaswan, you were also present there. But you have forgotten, but I have not forgotten. So whether in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, Jiva never becomes God. Even in the perfected state, Jiva can never have opulence like Lord. For example, even Yasoda, she is perfected devotee. She is like considered topmost devotee. But she doesn't know, and what to say of knowing, she can't even imagine that in the night time Krishna goes and dances with the gopis. Oh, my innocent boy, now how can he dance with someone else? So she can't imagine. She doesn't know, she is not aware what type of games Krishna plays when he goes in the Govardhan. So that is how even she doesn't know everything in completion. So whether in the conditioned state or in the perfected state, Jiva never becomes God. See, knowingly and unknowingly many times, even our devotees are not aware of that, and that's why they become very disturbed. If some exalted soul does some mistake, oh, he was such a senior devotee, sincere devotee, how could he commit some mistake? Anybody can commit a mistake in this world. Even somebody is a perfected person, no, he can also commit some mistake for some time, quite possibly. Because Lord's Maya is so powerful. Maya is as attractive as Krishna. Only thing is, Krishna can satisfy us, Maya cannot satisfy us. So, even very great souls can become allured by Maya for some time. But because Maya cannot attract and satisfy, one comes back to Krishna consciousness. So, Jiva can, even in the perfected state, can never become Krishna. And whatever powers, whether perfected devotees, non-perfected devotees or non-devotees have, they all are borrowed powers of Krishna. So we all are having borrowed plumes. So either because of some pious activity or because Krishna wants to fulfill some mission, Krishna may endow some opulence to us for some time, but we should understand it is not eternal. It's not like our eternal powers. At the same time, these are not like powers in full. Krishna has powers in full. Like how many of you have experienced that many other things, like no, we hardly had any influence over people before coming to Krishna consciousness. Like for example, how many of you have experienced that hardly you could attract anyone by your speech before coming to Krishna consciousness? And now when you speak, so many people hear you. Somebody has that experience? Right? At least I have this experience. Earlier I would mumble so much that so many talks have met me. I speak something, at least speak one sentence clearly. Now you class to 400, 500, 600 people at a shot. So these are all borrowed powers. Krishna gives us those powers for some service. Similarly, we may not be very good singers, but now we sing, oh, so many people, oh, what nice kirtans are there. Where does this power come from? Right? So in this way, all the powers come from Krishna. Intelligent person is one who uses those powers, understanding that these powers are not going to be eternally with me. So that is hard truth of this world. Whether it is physical strength or money or charisma of any sort, none of these things are going to eternally stay with us. Even if you see in the modern history or even in the current scenario, at least I have observed in the last 20-25 years, that nobody remains like a superhero for all the time. Within ISKCON also it's like certain devotees come, they are like superstar for 8 years, 10 years, and then you don't hear their name much. They just go in the ground. And of course devotees recognize that. Like I had from Gaur Gopal was telling, this is my peak time. So then I am utilizing my charisma for making situation favorable for practice of Krishna consciousness. People have started appreciating Krishna consciousness, even in those circles in which they were not appreciating before. And after this whole time goes away, good time goes away, I will sit with all of you and read Bhagavatam. Now I am utilizing my powers and fame. Because nobody is eternal hero in this world. Not that all the time we are superheroes. So powers come and go. So what is that verse? Ayu hartiva pumsam uddhana satana so. Tasritiya charanita uttam shlokavataya. With every rising and setting of the sun steals away people's lifespan. But only those who utilize their lifespan or life in uttam shlokavataya, hearing and chanting about Krishna, they don't spend their time, they invest their time. They invest their time. The difference between spending and investing. So one is spending, like we purchase things and spend, go and enjoy and come back. But when we put in some business or we put in bank, we are investing. So those who are devotees, they invest their physical strength by utilizing their physical strength in Krishna service. They utilize their money by spending money in Krishna service. They utilize their time by spending time in Krishna service. So rather than spending, it becomes investing. So when we invest, we get returns. We get eternal benefits by utilizing things in Krishna service. They are not temporary benefits. You have some question?
Basically, is the reason why nobody could be like eternally like a superstar or famous, because otherwise they would take the glorification away from Krishna, is that why?
Yeah. See, it's like when you have borrowed things are never eternal.
Oh, because the power itself was borrowed from Krishna.
Yes.
It has to go back to him.
Yes.
So then, are these empowered individuals just a sort of a vessel for us to then see Krishna's ability?
Yes.
And that will then bring us closer to Krishna?
Yes. What to say of that? We can never be separated from Krishna because we are part and parcel of Krishna.
So it's like a method of remembrance.
Yes. So all this knowledge ultimately meant to remind us that we are part of Krishna. We are not separate from Krishna. Even if you say it is my powers, but who are you? You belong to Krishna. We are Krishna's power. We are Krishna's matter and energy. So ultimately everything belongs to Krishna. We also belong to Krishna. We are not separate from Krishna. And then it's also famous verse. This also is going to repeat after me. Yasya chana viyogena loko hi apriya darshanaha uktena rahito hi esha yataka prochate yatha. Please you translate and purport.
I have just lost him whose separation for a moment would render all the universes unfavorable and void, like bodies without life.
Please read purport also.
Factually, for a living being, there is no one dearer than the Lord. The Lord expands himself by innumerable parts and parcels as Svamsha and Vipinamsha. Paramatma is the Svamsha part of the Lord, whereas the Vipinamsha parts are the living beings. As the living being is the important factor in the material body, for without the living being, the material body has no value. Similarly, without Paramatma, the living being has no status quo. Similarly, Brahman or Paramatma has no locus standi without the Supreme Lord Krishna. This is thoroughly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. They are all interlinked with one another, or interdependent factors. Thus, in the ultimate issue, the Lord is the summum bonum and therefore the vital principle of everything.
Yeah. So there are two types of expansion of the Lord, Swansa and Vibhinamsa. Swansa means Swa Ansa, his personal expansions. And Prabhupada gives an example of, like, this hand is part of my body, the hairs are also part of my body. But there is a difference between hairs and hand. What is the difference between hairs and hand? Yeah, hair can be cut and separated. And I won't feel much pain even if you cut my hairs. Right? So I have to cut my hairs. But we don't feel any pain when hairs are cut. But if hand is cut, so similarly, incarnations of the Lord are as good as the Lord. There's no difference. Like if I am here, I am not in my office, and I am in my office, I am not in my home. But Lord can be in the home and office simultaneously. So there is no difference between Ram and Krishna. Still there is a difference because in home as Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead can show all his rasas. He cannot show all his rasas in Ayodhya or Dwarka, especially Ayodhya and Vakuntas, even Dwarka. Because there is office. Like in office you can't have Madhurya Ras with your wife. Right? You can't have Vatsalya Ras, your father and mother are feeding you there and you are naturally sitting in the office. Office there is generally Santaras or Dasaras. Only two types of rasas are there. Similarly in Vaikuntha there is Santaras and Dasaras. But other rasas like Sakaras, Vatsalya and Madhurya are there in Goloka, which is Krishna's home. It is home of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So can Lord Ram play on flute? Yes, he can. But even if he plays, people will be bewildered. All the monkeys will come and see what happened to him today. Why is he playing on flute? So they won't be able to appreciate. So that is the difference between Swamsa and Vibhinamsa. Parikshit Maharaj asked a similar question to Sukdev Goswami in Govardhan Leela. Because in Govardhan Leela, Sukdev Goswami speaks. I won't go in an entire episode, it's too long. But then he says that Vrajavasis loved Krishna more than own children. Parikshit Maharaj said, how is it possible? How can someone have affection for someone else's son more than his own son? How is that possible? Sukdev Goswami explains very graphically. We have love for the body because we have love for the soul. It is like our own family member whom we love so much. Once the person dies, people can't stay with the same body for long. So same and husband and wife may have a lot of affection for each other, but when the partner departs, you can't stay with the body, you become so haunted by seeing the dead body. Same body is there. Because actual love is love for the soul, it is not for the body. And the love for the soul is there because soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So when we have love for anything in this world, we have love for the things of the world because we have love for the body. I love my country because I got this bond from this country. I love this family because I got this body, this connection with this body. So love for other things is because of the love for the body, love for the body is because of the love for the soul, and love for the soul is because it is ultimately part and parcel of the super soul. So in this way, ultimately, either it is direct love for Krishna in this world or indirect love for Krishna in this world. Love means only for Krishna, no one else. No one else means ultimately it is also a reflection of that love for Krishna only. So love is for Krishna. So even when we are loving someone else, it's ultimately a reflection of love for Krishna only. Only thing is it is misdirected love or love illusion. Okay. Is that clear?
So can I ask something regarding the expansions?
Mm-hmm.
So, like Lord Sandhini Shakti, which is includes his mother, they are also a part of Swamsa Vivekananda expansion.
They are part of, you can say, third one. Maybe, okay. So be ready to little bit extend the class today. I can explain more nicely. I can explain also. So just a minute. Here also did that. So this particular chart explains everything. So Krishna has three types of energies. Internal energy is called Antaranga Sakti. So those who understand Indian languages understand. Antaranga means Antaranga. It is part of Krishna's existence. It cannot be separate from Krishna. That is why it is called internal energy. Then we have external energy of the Lord, that is called Bahir Ang. Bahir Ang means outside the body of Krishna. It is separated energy of Krishna. That is why it is called external energy. And we in between are called Tatastha Sakti. Tatastha means on the shore. Like shore is sometimes dry and sometimes wet. Similarly, sometimes Jiva is under influence of external energy of the Lord. Sometimes Jiva is under the internal energy of the Lord. But it has to be under someone. The definition of Jiva comes in Narad Pancharatra. Yet tatastutu chitrupam sa samvedya vinirgatam ranjitam gunaragena sa jeev iti kathate. Sa jeev iti kathate. This is called Jiva. What is that Jiva? Yet tatastutu chitrupam, who remains on the shore of an ocean. Sometimes wet, sometimes dry. But it is Chitrupam. Chitrupam means it is spiritual in nature. But problem is this spiritual particle has a Ranjitam Guna. It has a tendency to color itself with three modes of material nature. That is definition of Jiva. Jiva is spiritual but has a tendency to cover itself by material elements for the purpose of enjoying material elements. So that is called a Jiva. That is the definition of a Jiva. So external energy is generally, we all know, 24 elements. They are external energy. Internal energy of the Lord are divided into three. Sandhini potency, Ladini potency and Samiti potency. Sandhini potency is the knowledge, it is the existence in potency. Potency which makes us and Krishna eternal. That is called Sandhini potency. It is sometimes called pure goodness, and we have this energy within us as sub potency. Sat is part and parcel of Sandhini potency of the Lord.
Once more, what is the Sandhini potential?
Existential. It makes us eternal and Krishna eternal. So, Sat in Jiva is ultimately Sandhini potency. Anand in Jiva is Ladini potency. Ladini potency is one which is pleasure to Jiva and Krishna. So in Jiva it is present as Ananda potency. It is bliss giving potency of the Lord. And Samit potency is knowledge giving potency. It is present as Chit within the Jiva. In charge for Sandhini potency is Krishna himself. In charge for Ladini potency is Radharani. In charge for Samit potency is Balaram. These same three potencies which are Sandhini, Ladini and Samved, when they reflect in this world, because this world is perverted reflection of spiritual world. These same potencies when they reflect in this world, they become goodness, passion and ignorance. Three potencies.
Can I ask why Balaramji is in charge of the knowledge-giving potency? I thought it would probably be Krishna. Obviously, he is no different than Krishna, but why?
He is in charge. In charge in the sense that he is given that department. Balaramji is the representative of Guru Tattva.
But is that because he created the spiritual world under Krishna?
And the main reason is because he is in charge of, he is called Adi Guru,
Original spiritual world.
original spiritual master.
Ah.
And we worship spiritual master because he gives us
Knowledge.
knowledge.
Ah.
So Balaramji is in charge of knowledge. Radharani is in charge of bliss. Ladini Sakti Asmat. So she gives happiness to Krishna. And Krishna himself takes care of maintenance. Maintenance is the toughest part in this world. Destruction is difficult but still not so difficult. Construction is even more difficult. And maintenance is very difficult.
How knowledge is reflected as ignorance in
You see, it may not be directly. It may not be direct. That is why when it comes to exactly is goodness the reflection of Sandhini potency, is Ladini passion, I am not very sure because no Acharya has given us. I can give you logic for that. But it is not like not given by any Acharya. You can say it is my speculation or anything. So that's why I clarify it. It is not like any Acharya has given. Other things are given by Acharyas. Because Vidya turns into Avidya. That is my how my intelligence goes. Love turns into lust. Lust comes from passion in this world. Love comes from Ladini potency in this spiritual world. Pure goodness turns into contaminated goodness in this world. That is what I understand. Now I may be wrong also, but possible. But that is how my intelligence works. But rest of all other things are given in Adi Lila chapter 4 of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there all these details are given. So same three potencies, Sandhini, Ladini and Samved, they come as goodness, passion, ignorance. That is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in charge is change. In goodness, the charge is Vishnu. For passion, the in charge is Brahma. For ignorance, the in charge is Shiva. Is that clear?
Which chapter is the fourth chapter?
Fourth chapter. As far as I remember, it is fourth chapter, verse number 55 onwards. 4.55 onwards.
Glories of Nityananda.
Okay, so
So
Come
Krishna's
back.
mother is Sandhini Shakti.
actually Krishna has lot of potencies. So when it comes to Nanda Maharaj and other people, they all are part of Sandhini potency, but still there is variety. Whatever definitions and are given here, they are like very, you can say, raw way of dividing. There are fine aspects also. Like Tulsi Maharani is illa potency. She is the expansion of illa potency.
Ila.
Illa, I-L-A.
Ila.
Say I-L-L-A.
I-L-A, simple L.
So what's the
Ila.
meaning of it? So
It is past time potential of the Lord.
Oh, Leela. Oh.
Not Leela,
Oh,
Illa.
Ila.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the past time.
Yeah. So that's why there are a lot of potencies. As far as I remember, I'm not very sure, but illa potency I remember still. But I'm not very sure, but I think this, as far as I remember, Kunti Maharani is the Vijay potency, victory potency.
Victory.
Yeah.
Victory.
So that is why
Sun on victory.
Parahasa Saktir Vivadeva Sruyate. Lord has so many innumerable energies that we can't count them.
Okay. The reason I asked is, so is Arjuna a jiva or is he another potency of the Lord?
These personalities, as far as we understand, those are very close associates of the Lord. Are in general, they are the part of the eternal associates of the Lord. So they are not jivas.
Internal.
They are Nitya Siddha.
They are Nitya Siddha people.
Other world also, universe also, they going on.
They are not one. They don't have a tendency to fall down.
It's strange because I don't know where to find this information, where the three potencies refers to the different deities. Like for example, Sandini. I always heard that Sandini Shakti was Balaram or Nityananda, and Samvit was referring to Krishna.
You can read this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 4, text number 55 onwards. So I just noted from there and I displayed in form of a chart. CC, Adi Leela, chapter 4, text 55 onwards. So whenever I saw this chart, all the people ask references. So I have references. See, what happens is, in general, when we speak about some informations, not specifying a particular topic, we speak in a raw manner. It's a raw format. Like many times you must have seen, Prabhupada interchangeably uses the word Pradhan and Mahatattva.
Yes.
He's not like very specific. Because he doesn't have to be specific when he is addressing some other topic. But when it comes to creation, second canto, third canto, that Prabhupada discriminates. Because the whole topic is all about creation. So similarly, Tad Anantam Sambhava Mahasastra Patra Kamalam Lokulakha Mahapadam Tad Agarnikaram Tadama Tad Anantam Sambhava. That it is the expansion of Lord Ananta. So then we say, okay, Balramji was only Sandini potency. But when it comes to specification, we understand Sandini potency's work is to maintain. It is to make the things eternal. And that is the work of Sandini potency.
Can you say that again, please?
Yeah.
Just the last line.
Yeah. The work of Sandini potency is to maintain. So that maintenance is done by Sandini potency.
Is that through service? Like pleasure giving service, everything's being maintained in that way.
Maintain means they are made eternal. Now, for example, if I don't maintain this room, maybe another 40-50 years this roof will fall off. So this can be maintained only when this can remain permanent only if I maintain it. So similarly, all the maintenance in material world or spiritual world, whatever maintenance is there, maintained by spiritual world, I would say. For jivas and for Krishna and associates, maintenance is done by Sandini. Okay, now we have to read the rest. We have to move slow. Please read 7th, 8th onwards, 7th onwards.
Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King